What were these things? Guardsman Tills had expected advanced Xenos technology, devastating weapons, and rank upon rank of relentless machine men. But these things, they were monsters beyond anything Tills could have imagined. The battle. No, this wasn't a battle. This was a slaughter. Everything happened so fast. The guardsman could barely process the things he saw. He remembered moments, like picked captures forever burned into his mind. He remembered the look on Guardsman Emery's face as the skeletal creatures punctured his flak armor with their scythe-like claws. Tills thought of Emery as a brave man, but all the bravado, all the confidence melted away as he looked death in the face. And suddenly the brave man was like a small, lost child, pale and afraid. Tills remembered the terrible sound of ripping flesh and snapping bones. Then things became cloudy again. Next he was running. A few others were with him. Much fewer than before. Gibson! Where was Gibson? Guardsman Tills looked back down the hallway, and there he could see Gibson lying on the floor, a bloodstain spreading from beneath his armor. A cough spattered the floor with crimson. The creatures circled around him like jackals. And then the screams came. Tills couldn't believe what he was seeing. They were eating him alive. Tills felt himself swallow. His throat was dry and cracked and raw. Had he been screaming? It didn't matter. No man deserved to die this way, least of all Gibson. Tills popped the cap and pulled the pin on his frag grenade, said a prayer to the Emperor and let it fly. There was a flash of light as shrapnel ripped through the hall. Tills couldn't see much, but the screaming stopped. That was as far as his bravery could take him. As he turned and rejoined the fleeing men, desperately seeking any officer, any unit, any reinforcements. And he hoped he could find them before the enemy did.
I must give credit to the human commander. The fortifications on this planet border on the absurd. Each and every single bastion, no matter how seemingly insignificant, has endless corridors and passageways and escape tunnels. Endless nooks and crannies for the primitive filth to hide in. I want them all eliminated. Humans are second only to orcs in their ability to reproduce. Just give them a dark place away from prying eyes, and they spawn like vermin. We are making slow, steady progress across the planet, though it is not without cost. Many of the human fortifications have self-destruct devices within them. Many of our troops are teleported back to the tomb world for repairs in the wake of such blasts. There are many also who are simply destroyed. As much as I hate to admit it, the appearance of the detestable flayed ones has made things a little easier when it comes to weeding out the humans. They help, but their goal is not to achieve victory. They only come to the battlefield to feed. And they are not thorough when it comes to extermination. Still, this war is progressing far too slowly. The only positions that are making any kind of rapid advance are the destroyer units. After being denied the ability to eradicate the Eldar, they seem especially eager to eliminate any and all humans they come across. Their highly mobile units are not the most useful on this fortress world. There are few pitched battles, and the humans seem content to engage in siege warfare. We have to be clever in order to give the destroyers the carnage they crave. Sometimes we needed to bait the little primitives out. Cryptek Merisank's mine has begun to fail her, and she was becoming less and less used to me. So I sent her to assault the human fortress of Hammerstern. I assigned her warriors whose performance had been suboptimal, owing to side effects from the stasis hibernation or for some other reason. Even with this weak force, they were still able to do serious damage to the humans within Hammerstern. Necrons are still resilient, and our weapons are more deadly than the humans can imagine. However, through grit or determination or faith or whatever nonsense, the humans repulsed Merisank's forces and counterattacked, sallying forth to put her unit to rout. Once the humans left the relative safety of their exceedingly ugly fortification, the destroyers struck. They were reapers among wheat. Whatever victory the humans had earned, it melted away before the void blades and Gauss weaponry of the hovering specters of death. What they do to their bodies is appalling, these destroyers. But I don't dwell on such thoughts. My goal is victory, and if these things can aid in that goal, so be it. It's not as if I have to invite these brutes to court. But now, we must turn our eyes on the greatest bastion on this planet, known only as the Androcles Bulwark. Once their heart is cut out, once their leader is destroyed, the extermination of these wretches will be so much easier.
Lord General Achilleus, I'm getting reports that we've lost Hammerstern.
Seal off the Hammerstern underground network. I don't want these Xenos worming their way into even more fortifications.
Yes, my lord.
And we need to resupply the western continents. They can hold out, but not on empty stomachs. We have the corpse starch to spare, and resources to make more if we need to. Have it sent by Magrail as soon as possible.
Of course, my lord.
Can I assume that you have heard no response for our request for reinforcements?
No, my lord. Long-range communication has been impossible. The Astropathic Choir claims that something is preventing a clean transmission. They all say they feel a terrible coldness and are stricken with a weakness of body and spirit whenever they make an attempt.
I do not care. Have them try as often as they are physically able. Either we receive reinforcements, or billions will slowly die on this planet. Now Crotus is of essential strategic importance in my estimation. I pray to the Emperor that someone out there with power agrees with me.
And if not?
Then we sell our lives dearly, Peleus. We sell our lives dearly, and we hope for one of those miracles you're so fond of.
You speak flippantly of the power of the Emperor.
Peleus, I have seen men die in the trillions, whose faith in the Emperor burned hotter than the surface of a star. I do not speak flippantly. I speak as a realist. By all means pray, Peleus. If it keeps your spirits up, pray for that miracle. But no good general marches on faith alone. If the Emperor sees fit to bless us with victory, so be it. But I will not count on it. I do not belittle your faith, Peleus. I envy it. Faith and its comfort are simply luxuries I cannot afford.
No man do they call me. My mother and my father, and all my comrades as well. Thank you all for listening to this episode of The Price of Eternity. If you enjoyed what you heard, please leave a like and comment so that you might avoid personally getting involved in a war of attrition against the Necrons. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so in order to hear more stories about insane skeleton robot women and bitter old men. If you would like to support me, you can do so via Patreon or PayPal. Both of those will be linked down below in the description. And if you have absolutely no idea what's going on, you can listen to the story from the beginning by clicking on the playlist, which should be appearing on screen right now. Thank you all once again for listening. No Man out.